Hello all, welcome to online lecture series on Laplace transforms. This is initial lecture on the chapter Laplace transforms. In this lecture, we'll look into the definition of Laplace transform, the application of Laplace transforms, and necessary conditions for the existence of Laplace transforms and the definitions regarding. Laplace transform transforms a signal from time domain to a new domain that is called complex frequency domain. So if we have a signal f of t which is of time domain, we are going to convert it into a new signal called f bar of s, which is a frequency domain, using Laplace transform. So here f of t is a function of t where t is a time factor, and f bar of s is a function of s, which is where s is a frequency factor. Now, t is a real variable which is often taken as a time factor, and s is a complex variable which is often taken as a frequency variable. So using Laplace transform, we can look at signal as a function of time t or a function of frequency s. Now let us look into the definition of Laplace transform. If f of t is a function defined for t greater than 0, then the Laplace transform of the function f of t is denoted with the letter L, and it is defined as L of f of t is integral 0 to infinity e power minus st into f of t dt, and which gives f bar of s, because after evaluation of this integral we will be left with a function of s, which we usually denote it with f bar of s. Now this can also be written as f of t is equals to L inverse of f bar of s, and this L inverse of f bar of s is called as an inverse Laplace transform. You know that the Laplace transform is named after the mathematician Pierre-Simon de Laplace, who introduced the concept of Laplace transform. This was further developed by the physicist Oliver Heaviside. Now, what are the applications or uses of this Laplace transform? The Laplace transform has many applications in science and engineering, particularly in electrical engineering, where the engineering problems can be represented as a complex set of differential equations, and this Laplace transform will act as a tool for solving such differential equations. The Laplace transform reduces a linear differential equation to an algebraic equation, and an algebraic equation can be solved by formal rules of algebra. If you remember, to find a solution of a linear differential equation, we should find a complementary function and the particular integral, and then the arbitrary constants in the solution using initial conditions. But using Laplace transform, we can reduce a linear differential equation to an algebraic equation and can solve easily. Besides this, the Laplace transform technique may also be used to find certain integrals also. Now, the question is, does the Laplace transform exist for all functions? The answer is no. Then, what are the necessary conditions for the existence of Laplace transform? Let us look into it. The Laplace transform of the function f of t given by integral 0 to infinity e power minus st into f of t dt exists for s greater than a if the function f of t is continuous or sectionally continuous in any closed interval a comma b. This is first condition for the existence of Laplace transform. The function must be continuous or sectionally continuous. And the second condition is the function f of t is of exponential order. Now, what are the definitions of sectionally continuous and exponential order? Let us see the definitions now. A function f of t is said to be a sectionally continuous over the closed interval a comma b if, first point is, the function should be defined on the interval, and second point is the interval must be divided into finite number of subintervals in which the function is continuous, and it has both right and left hand limits at every endpoint of the interval. then we say the function as a sectionally continuous or sometimes piecewise continuous. And a function is said to be of exponential order a if limit t tends to infinity e power minus at into f of t is a finite quantity, which means that for a given number t there is a real number m greater than 0 such that modulus of e power minus at into f of t is less than m for all t greater than or equal to t. Otherwise, this can be written as mod f of t is less than m into e power at for all t greater than or equal to t. So, if the function is either continuous or sectionally continuous, and if it is of exponential order, then the Laplace transform exists for a given function f of t. That is, the integral in the definition of Laplace transform converges under these two conditions. Now let us look into examples of the sectionally continuous functions as well as functions of exponential order. The function f of t defined as t square in the interval 0, 5 and 2 times t plus 3 for t greater than 5 is sectionally continuous for t greater than 0. So if you see, the interval 0 to infinity is divided as two subintervals 0 to 5 and 5 to infinity, and at the breaking points, and that means at the end points of each interval, that is at 5, the right hand side limit is given by 5 square, left hand side is limit is given by 5 square, that is 25, and the right hand side limit is given by 2 into t plus 3, that is 2 into 5 plus 3, that is equals to 13. So the left hand limit and the right hand limit at the end points of each subinterval exists, and hence this function is a sectionally continuous functions. As I said, limit t tends to 5 minus f of t is 25 and limit t tends to 5 plus f of t is 13. Whereas the function f of t is equals to 1 by t is not sectionally continuous in any interval containing t is equal to 0, because this function is not continuous, not defined at t is equals to 0. Now the functions f of t is equal to sin at or cos at are of exponential order 0. Why? Because modulus of f of t, that is mod sin at, is less than or equal to m times e power 0x with m is equals to 1, because we all know that the values of sin x always lies between 1 and minus 1. So modulus of sin x is less than or equals to 1, and here this 1 is taken as m. Therefore, we got mod sin at is less than or equal to m into e power 0x with m is equals to 1. And hence sin at is of exponential order 0, because we have e power 0x here. Similarly, cos at is also an exponential of order 0. So you can try the functions t square, e power at are also of exponential order. But if you look at the function f of t is equals to e power t square, this is not of exponential order. Why? Because if f is of exponential order a, then what happens? Then there exists a positive integer m such that modulus of f of t into e power minus at is less than m for all t greater than or equal to t. That means modulus of e power minus at into e power t square is less than m. Keep it in mind. Now consider the limit t tends to infinity e power minus at into e power t square. That gives limit t tends to infinity e power t square minus at, that is limit t tends to infinity e power t into t minus a, which goes to infinity. But whereas because of the assumption we have assumed, it should be finite, which is a contradiction. Thus e power t square is not of exponential order a for any positive number a. Hence Laplace transform for f of t is equals to e power t square does not exist. So in the coming video, we'll see the Laplace transform of certain elementary functions. Thank you for that. Thank you.